Hello, this is One Black British Woman's Voice. Bear with me. I'm just very mindful of the framing and the colouring and the sounding of this camera, which is not a camera, actually, it's a phone. So I always have to just double check that my head was in frame, which obviously it is, and everything is fine. Right, okay, so this is One Black British Woman's Voice. And at this moment, I want to look at the subject, which is running right through social media, and that subject is a white gentleman called Logan Sama. I might be mispronouncing his name, apologies if I am. Please bring forth all your corrections, but really I don't care as long as you get the gist of his name. His background is that he is a DJ that specializes in promoting the music genre, which is grime. Now, for those of you that don't know what grime music is, it's a very it's a youth orientated urban black expression type of music, sort of like trap music, but very British, kind of authentically British in that it's different tones and musical notes which are used in order to create tunes and songs. Sorry, that's probably a scenic way of describing it, but grime music is urban and it's black. Now, Logan Sama, I'm just going to say his name, Logan, recently lost his job with Radio 1 Extra. Radio 1 Extra is a radio station attached to the BBC, which I worked for 6 years, so I know how inherent and rife the racism is within the BBC. And he was initially scheduled to be a DJ on Radio 1 Extra, which is, and Radio 1 Extra is a black exploitation music station run by the BBC, an intrinsically white industry. And he took on his role, I think it started early November, and within a matter of weeks he lost it. And the reason why he lost his role as a DJ promoting grime music on Radio 1 Extra is because someone managed to dig out some tweets, some inflammatory tweets that he had tweeted about a few years ago or a few months ago. And these tweets, in the cold light of day, had racial overtones which made the BBC uncomfortable, which, if you know the BBC, doesn't mean a goddamn thing, but it did make them uncomfortable, and it was sufficient enough for the BBC to terminate his contract. And so at this moment, social media is buzzing with lots of people, namely young people, talking about the termination of Logan Sama's contract. Some black people are of the mind that there's an injustice to it. One person was very vocal that the black community, or the community that love or espouse themselves to grime music, are probably fools and criminals anyway, and that they haven't done anything for society. And of course, a quartet of the other half of black society are of the mind that he absolutely thoroughly deserved it. Now, I've done some research on this subject, and I've had a look at his tweets, and so far I've managed to only find a couple, and one of them, and there were screenshots posted by a tweeter on Twitter called Industry Racism. And when I looked at these screenshots, basically the comments were along the lines of biracial women that have white fathers and black mothers, apparently to this Logan Sama, are the most snootiest biracial types. So he was saying those people that, black women with that percentage of black of them in that order, i.e. a white father and a black mother, are called lighties, and these types of lighties are the most snootiest types. He also made another derogatory comment, which was something along the lines of, if you don't have to deal with that lighty, you can find yourself another lighty. Now, looking at these statements, looking at these tweets that Logan Sama made, they're actually innocuous in nature. They're deeply innocuous in nature. Yes, they could be viewed as offensive, and if someone were offended by them, I would wholeheartedly understand. I wouldn't mitigate what he said just because I'm not biracial or just because he didn't use the word nigger. However, based on this, the innocuity of these of these tweets led me to understand something very clearly. Something actually I didn't need to actually come to a point where I understood. I already understood this, and having done some more research, I couldn't find any more tweets other than these comments that he made, which was banter between himself and some other people on the social media setting, which was Twitter, about lighties being problematic, about them being snooty, about lighties of a particular background, a white father and a black mother, being more problematic. So outside of those innocuous tweets, I couldn't find anything else more detrimental than that. And what I concluded swiftly was that Logan Sama's crime wasn't these tweets. Logan Sama's crime was this. He was a white man who, born on white privilege, managed to conjoin himself to a white supremacist organisation, i.e. the BBC, and obtain a job promoting a black music that someone else black who lived on the streets would have been better serving doing instead. His crime was being a white man making these comments, and quite rightly so, because what white people who take our culture and append it to themselves and make profit from and make great careers from, What they need to understand is just because white supremacist organizations back them up by giving them jobs, by supplanting them in positions that black people should actually be in, just because that is the case, it doesn't mean to say that you have a hood pass amongst the rest of the black community. It doesn't mean that just because you're doing very well from exploiting black music, thank you very much, that you have the hood pass or the carte blanche to go out and make comments about lighties or black women, whatever. You misunderstood, Logan Sama. You dipped your toe in the water and judged the temperature to be far more lukewarm than it actually was. It was scalding hot, and that scalding hot was the black community coming for you by the jugular. Your comments should have been held in your head, and at the very most you should have swapped them amongst your other black friends in a private setting at a party in your home, rather than exclaim them all to all and sundry on social media. Because Logan Sama, your crime is essentially you being a white person making profit, having a fabulous career on the backs of black music. Your mistake was thinking that because Radio 1 Extra and all these other Kiss FM and all these urban music outlets are giving you jobs and making you the voice in the face of an urban black music genre, that you had carte blanche to say and do things which you really don't. And I hope that you learned an incredible lesson today. Not that I wish you badly, I don't have any problem with you whatsoever. I have no idea, and I don't think I doubt there's not a thought in my mind that makes me think you'll even watch this video. So in actuality, let me readjust my narrative. What I mean is that I hope that white people who appropriate black culture and live off black culture and are backed up by institutional racist industries that allow them to promote that black culture rather than letting black people express and promote that culture, I hope you understand that you do not have carte blanche. You do not have leeway to make comments about biracial women. You don't have any of that leeway. You think you do. You really don't. And unfortunately, some of you will only realize this when it gets to the point where you've become so comfortable with your feet up on the table of black society that you say something so stupid and audacious, you lose your job. Anyway, that's my thoughts, that's my feelings on Logan Sama. I might have something more to say, I don't know. There's so much going on, there's so many other things I want to talk about, but that's my thoughts and opinions on the subject. This is One Black British Woman's Voice, and I'm out.